Often Cold Cave theme lyrics and narratives are described as being dark, gothic, but they're actually laced with optimism. Do you feel that it's a reflection of yourself, and would you say it's a realist approach when it comes to lyrics and the narrative of your music?
Yeah, it's extremely realist. I think there's some humor in it, you know? I think it's maybe a bit sadistic, but I find humor in almost everything, even tragic days or happenings or things that happen to us in life. And it's not all negative or sad or depressing, and I think that's an easy way to dismiss it or describe it. But I put a lot of humor in it, or I think it's funny anyway.
Your recent release, Full Cold Moon, a series of limited edition singles, and so many standout songs, and one of them, God Made the World. I mean, it's a vast palette of amazing, alluring sounds. When you're forming a song like this, it's got great pace. Is that the spine of it from which you build the rest of the material for the song? Was that the spine of it, the actual pace?
That was one of the first songs I ever wrote using a guitar.
Okay.
And I had just a simple, repetitive drum track, and it was kind of fumbling my way through some hack shit old guitar and made this bass line for it. And the song, some of the songs I like the most of mine, including that one, are songs that I complete within 30 minutes or something like this, you know. And so I carried around a demo of that song for about a year until I was telling Amy I should finish it, and she's like, why don't you finish it? And so then I finished it, and I turned the bass into a synth line, and then the song was done. And then the glory of being able to self-release singles like that was I finished the song, I had an instrumental that fit with it, and then it was released a week later. You know, I didn't have to wait around to release it. And all the singles from last year were like that. They were very time and place and representative of that year. Because when you make an album, there's time involved. There's writing it, there's a recording of it, and then if you're working with a label, it can take 6 months or something to promote it and for it to be released properly, and you can often be a bit bored of it by the time it comes out.
Tell us about Nepal. I understand you guys played Nepal, and not many artists have actually ventured to Nepal, and maybe Ryan Adams and Napalm, just a few of the names. It was quite the experience for you. I mean, no electricity, place boarded up. What was the experience like, and how rewarding was it for you to do that? And that's something that was very significant for yourself.
It was amazing. I mean, if you haven't been to Kathmandu, which I had and Amy had, the first thing that was, I mean, we were there for, I don't know, 24 hours or something, maybe 2 days. And just getting off the plane, the cab ride from the train to our hotel was just pure mayhem. There's just motorcycles coming at you in every direction. There's a million cab drivers arguing with each other and you, and then you're about prices for cab rides, and then you do the conversion in your head and okay, we're talking about 20 cents. Give me the fucking cab, I don't care. And then you're driving to the center of Kathmandu, and there's just people everywhere. There's cars going every direction. There's animals everywhere. We get to our area. We start seeing posters on the street for our show, which was just so cool to see in such a foreign place to us. Checking in the hotel, starting to relax. It's 10 in the morning or something, and the power goes off, and I go talk to the guy at the desk, and what's going on, man? The power's off, something wrong? It's no, there's no power here from 10 or 11 till 5 at night or something. What do you mean? He's that's normal, there's no power in hotels in Kathmandu. And it was so hot, we were just we've been in China for a month before that, so our patience was pushed to the corners of hell. And so I turned my phone on and look for the nicest hotel in Kathmandu, which was on the same block we were on. and it was like $30 more a night. So we went there and we like splurged and spent like the $100 or whatever it was for the room with the air conditioner, and like it was awesome. Like totally changed our day. And then we started doing interviews for the show, which was the day, doing interviews around like 3 or 4 in the afternoon for the show that night. And the press people explained to us that they wouldn't run the interviews to the day after the show to promote the show because they couldn't risk having the show be made public or get shut down. Which is strange because there were posters everywhere, but that didn't matter. We get to the show, it's like a lot of expats there and a lot of local Nepalese people. It was a really cool mix. And they explained to us, right, as you said, that the show would have to be over by 10 o'clock because it was an illegal show in a bar. Had to board up the windows for sound reasons to keep it quiet. Then at the end of the night, we got paid by like a variety of different people because they split the money up and different people put the money in their pockets, and they would come up to us at different times and hand you a little bit. And then they just sent us out into like the pitch black rain, and we got lost walking home and finally found our air-conditioned room.
What's also admirable is, you know, you've been very open and vocal about some of the struggles and the turbulent times that you've been through. And tell us about, you know, you stated you found the gift of clarity, but what was that like, and how, you know, how much of an eye-opener was that for yourself in terms of giving you direction? How compelling was that for yourself?
It's the best. I think it was mostly, now that a year or two has passed since a year of all this craziness, I think it was just a matter of growing up and disassociating with others to more associate like with yourself. And I mean, for me, it's just been the most rewarding year, and also it just allowed me to work hard, which I came to this conclusion of wondering, like, what the hell had I been doing for the past few years? I would do some tours every now and then. And
alongside you is Amy Lee, who also helps with the videography, the designing, the photography. You know, how amazing is it for you to have Amy alongside you throughout this journey, you know, playing live and touring, and just having someone who has such honest support? What's that like for you?
It's the coolest. It's the coolest. I think it's the first time, it is the first time in Cold Cave that I think I've collaborated with someone who actually understands where I'm coming from as a person, and in terms of music and the lineage of the music. And I had a lot of people play with me over the years at different times, and I think a lot of the people were like playing dress up for a little bit, and it was like fun for them or something, but it never felt right or clicked. So it feels right, and I mean, we kind of talk about everything nonstop, and it kind of does rule our lives a lot of the time. And but we do everything together, you know. We live together in LA. She owns a bookstore in LA. I get to work in the back of the bookstore for Heartworm and, you know, do all that stuff out of there. She does the design. I don't know, keeps me in check. It's cool. It's good.
When you got to the UK, an agent was talking to you about Pakistani folk singer Aziz Mia.
Yeah.
And you talked about meaningful songs about death for 35 minutes. That's the type of thing that you just said, it was just so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, well, it was just we get off and we flew from, I don't know, somewhere in Europe to Birmingham, and like, yeah, the customs agent, it's like, ugh, I have to fill this paperwork for you. I'm like, yeah, sorry, like, we're here. He's like, what are you doing? Like, we're playing tonight in Birmingham. And he's like, what's your music like? We kind of described it, and he's like, I actually like meaningful music. I'm like, okay. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna go fill this paperwork. And he wrote down all his names, and he's like, go on your phone and watch this song on YouTube. And there's like signs everywhere that say no cell phones. We're like, I don't know, is this a setup or something? And he comes back and he's like, did you watch it? We're like, no, man, there's like signs everywhere. I say, no cell phone. She's like, I told everyone you were allowed to use your cell phone. We're like, first of all, there's no one there except 10 guards and us. And they're all just staring at us like, who are these pricks, you know? And then he's like, hey, go on your phone. And I didn't want to be like, man, I'm roaming right now and I don't really want to spend my money watching the video you're recommending, but we did. It was really cool, and he translated it for us. And like, I made fun of like how the guy looked, and he liked that. And then we hung out with him for like 30 minutes. Just, he was playing us these songs back and forth, and then he was like, "So where are you playing? Like the arena?" And he's like, "Wow, like you play guitar?" And I was like, "No, I only have one hand. I don't play guitar." He's like, "You have one hand and you're playing in the arena?" And we're like, "Yeah, somehow." And he like teared up and started crying. He's like, "That's like the coolest, most beautiful thing." And then we like high-fived each other and like stamped us into the country, and we were off. You know? Yeah.